3 for 5 at 1 Youngster is recorded live in front of a mythical audience.
Haha, yeah, another great episode. You know what it is. 3 for 5 at 1 Youngster, Lay Ill Kid bringing it to you live. And I figured we might as well start off with the elephant in the room with a lot of nerds, with a lot of geeks, with a lot of nostalgia critics, with a lot of nostalgia people, is this Ghostbuster movie and what we're going to do with it. I watched the interview of the cast on Ellen, and I thought it was very telling that during the interview, or at least the parts that I saw, they barely talked about the film. And I think that's very telling because it's once again showing that this film might not be as good as Sony would like us to think it is. And of course, there's a lot of people out there talking about the trailer and you should just give the movie a chance. And I'm going to touch on that in a second. But in the interview, I'm going to touch on the interview first. The reason I think there's an issue with the movie is because usually when there's an interview, and someone has a film coming out, they talk about, like, what were your favorite scenes, or how was it working with the director, or how was it on set, or what was a part of the script that you really gravitated to, or there's a myriad of questions that you could ask to see if someone's to kind of get some insight to how they felt while making the film. And we never got a piece of that. We got them joking about anything but the movie. Like, they didn't talk about the movie, like they talked about the movie maybe like 1 or 2% of the time. And, they, diverted to other things, which is something that scares me about the movie. Another thing that scares me about the movie is this situation and this idea in the community, especially from critics. And I'm gonna take critics to task on this. A lot of critics are saying, oh, just go out and see the movie. Well, no. Would you say that about anything else? Say if you went to a store and you saw a pair of pants and you were like, you know what? I don't think these pants would fit me, or I don't think these pants are really my style. Would someone in the retail, business say, oh, well, just buy the pants, give them a chance? You know what I'm saying? Or if you were talking about food, if you looked at something on a menu or a picture of a food item or something, and you were like, you know what? This doesn't really look that appetizing. Would somebody say, oh, just eat it anyway, just pay for it anyway? No, look. Tickets still cost money to real people. And I'm in LA right now, so ticket is going to run you approximately $15, $12, sometimes even up to $20. So for me to just shell out $20 just to give something a chance, no, that's not how it works. This is how it works. A studio makes a movie. Then they make a trailer to entice you to see the movie. And see, that trailer is supposed to be watched by you, me, everyone else, and we're supposed to look at that trailer and make a decision on if that is for them or not. So if someone looks at a trailer, whether it's for Ghostbusters, whether it's for Terminator, whether it's for Nice Guys, whether it's for E.T., no matter what it is, if they look at that trailer and say, nah, I think I might stay home, that is completely their business. And this is completely outside of any of this hoax mess of people talking about sexism, because there is no sexism surrounding this movie. This is something that's been completely made up by, the studios. They're taking like a fraction of a percent of people that out there that might actually be mad about a woman, which is probably like one person out of like the millions that are like, this looks bad. So I'm not even gonna refer to that or even regard that or even give it any premise in this conversation, because it's a non-factor. Nobody is mad about this because of women. Nobody cares. The fact is, this is what is the real issue. The real issue is that as fans of the material, we have wanted a continuation of the story. This is not. We have also wanted to see in that continuation new material. Where does the universe go next? What happens next? So on top of not getting a continuation, we're getting a reboot, but even in the reboot, we're not getting anything new. We're getting retreads of old scenes. In the scene in the library, you're ripping off the library and you're ripping off the painting at the same time. Also, when they're in the club and the ghost is on Leslie Jones's shoulders, that's a scene right out of the cartoon. So it's like, I mean, not that they were in the club, but there was this large bird ghost that was on Venkman's shoulders and like controlling him and stuff. So it's like it's not the fact that it's women. This has nothing to do with women, and nobody's even mad about it as women. So just completely stop that. There's no sexism involved. The movie doesn't look good, and people aren't happy about it because they've been waiting for years and years. Also, adding on the fact that there has been drama surrounding Ghostbusters 3 or Ghostbusters reboot or Ghostbusters anything for at least the last 10 to 15 years. So people are fed up and tired when they see something that looks very, very hackneyed, if you will. So of course it's about time I got to get to that next topic, but Ghostbusters, if I were you, I wouldn't see it. Read the tea leaves, bruh. I want you guys to focus, and this is more for my creatives out there and my tech people out there. I want you guys to focus on being helpful. You know what I'm saying? Being, going the extra mile and doing the right thing. And what I mean by is I guess we could take it one by one. So as far as being helpful, when you're on a job, when you're with a client, when you're, even dealing with friends that might have tech issues or something, be helpful instead of hurtful. And what I mean is when they have questions, when they have comments or concerns, don't make them feel dumb for having those questions. Be good at explaining why they should choose this or choose that. Be good at explaining steps that they can take or should take, instead of just outright, making them, feel stupid. Be, very specific in your answers. Be very explanatory in your answers, and kind of help lead them to learning what you know. You know what I'm saying? Or at least kind of having a good general idea of kind of what you do and how you do. And that leads to going the extra mile. And what I mean by going the extra mile is maybe if you have a client, it's not your job to, for instance, let's say you have a client and all they want to do is build a website. But say, they want to use this website to serve up video. Maybe they want to host a couple of their videos or something like that. And say you have a lot of knowledge in the space. There are some people, unfortunately, out there that will, have this knowledge and hold it back from their client. It's not going to kill you to give them a couple of nuggets of wisdom. You can go the extra mile and give them tips, give them tricks, give them, create some extra value that doesn't have to have a dollar amount on it. And not saying that you should just run around doing free stuff. But what I'm saying is, if you have a relationship with someone, it can be good for you to kind of create some value by, giving a little more extra help that may not even be solicited. Be like, oh, hey, I know we're working on this, just to let you know, you have a PDF for download, and I looked at the PDF, and the old version, it hasn't been updated since 2012. I can do that, or I've already done that, and here's what it looks like, or I have a friend that can do it, and he's really great, or something like that, just to kind of keep things, minor details that you would always notice that they probably would overlook because they just want, they're looking at the big stuff, I just want a new website, but they don't realize oh, well, these images that you were using in the old site, we really need to update them because, they're not high res, or they're not retina, or, whatever it could be. You know what I'm saying? Those things that don't actually come with a dollar amount, but they don't particularly cost you anything either. It can create, it can actually create a larger, I guess a larger focus on the relationship, as far as the client's concerned, because they see that you're making an effort to kind of look out for them. You know what I'm saying? So that then ties into just doing the right thing. And I know people will be like, what is right, what is wrong, and try to play the whole straddle game like they don't know, but people know what right and wrong is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about what's legal. I'm talking about what's right. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean when I say what's legal, like legally, it might not be your job to do this. But if you see something's broken and you know they need to know about it, it's right to tell them. Like, yo, just so you know, you have this, and you know, I know they sold it to you saying that it's responsive, but it's not really responsive. You know what I'm saying? And we have to do something to get it fixed. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just leaving it and saying, well, they didn't do it, you know, it's on them. It's like, well, no, if you saw it and you knew something was wrong and you didn't speak up, it's also on you now. You know what I'm saying? So do these 3 things. It'll definitely help you in your future endeavors, whether it's dealing with clients, whether it's dealing with friends, whether it's dealing with family. Now, at the same time, I'm not saying that every time this is going to end in a positive reaction. Some people might hate you or hate on you for doing the right thing, for, you know, giving advice, for trying to help out or whatever. But you just keep doing what you're doing, you know, helping people out, being a resource for them, and everything will shine through. That's what's up. Peace. For your mama and your daddy. But anyway, I'm here with Lisa.
Hey.
And you know what we talking about? Talking about that love thing. So right now, it's the question that I feel a lot of people need to talk about when they're in a relationship, especially when y'all start, you know, loving and rubbing, hugging, doing a little togetherness under them sheets. STDs. Are you talking about them with your mate? If you're not, why are you not? If you are, why are you? Lisa, let me know. Why is it important to talk about STDs?
I mean, you know, it should be obvious, you know, by now. It's 2015, almost 2016. I mean, if you're dating and you're having sex or thinking about having sex, you need to talk about STDs. It's just, you know, you can't be all shy about it. Let's just be real with it. You know, you're an adult, you know, so most people have had, you know, sex or some sort of sexual experience at this point. So you need to talk about, you know, that with your partner or potential partner, and, you know, you should get tested together. I mean, the bottom, you know, that's all to it. You know, you need to be safe. You cannot change what you've done in your past.
Word.
You know, one way or the other. It is what it is, and you need to know what it is. And if you have something, you need to know what it is. And if you have something that your partner or potential partner has the right to know, that you've had something, and they have the right to know, you know, if you are clear of it. I mean, that's just, you know, how much do you care about that person? That's the thing about it. If you care about that person, you should, you know, be open and honest with them.
Yeah, if there is any pinching, pillaging, or partaking of any kind, then you might want to get checked. I will say this though, when you go get checked, look around at the people, because like I went to get checked. I got checked. I got checked for, like, you know, they took the blood thingy and swabbed your mouth and all that. And I remember sitting in the room. I was in Richmond, Virginia. I remember sitting in the room, and I was looking around. I know I ain't had nothing, so I was cool. But I saw people's faces, and like the worry on people's faces. It was sad, yo. It was sad. It was almost like watching one of them commercials where you be seeing kids like sad and stuff, and they be having flies on them. It was like that.
Don't do that.
So, girl. Anyway, like I said, it was sad. So, as someone who was up in there relaxed, I would like y'all to go in there relaxed, you know, chill. Know you ain't got nothing. Get your results so you can go in and, you know, submit them to the HR department so you can film your scene. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Oh,
you know what? My Lord.
But no, seriously, you don't want to go in nowhere and then come back and then be itching and scratching and be, you know, you ain't gonna be feeling right down there. And I've seen some pictures and it ain't good. You're gonna be looking like a bullfrog all around your Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want that. Oh no, you don't want that. Because when you pull down your pants and your woman don't see nothing but razor bumps, oh, that night is over. That night is sure enough over.
So yeah, so I mean, you should be talking about it. I mean, because this is the thing. If you don't talk about it, it's going to come out. No pun intended.
Oh, it will.
One way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So, just saying.
You don't want to get that call hearing nothing but tears and snot on the other line, like you done gave me something. Or you don't want to be calling a girl like, yo, girl, you been sleeping with somebody else. You don't want to do that. So look, just be straight up before. Don't be doing them one night stands. I tell you, if she look good and she doing a one night stand, that means you ain't the first one she done did it with. So you need to go on back up, roll it back, and be like, yo, let me chill. Let me relax for now. Because I don't want to be up in there like swimwear. And then your stuff looking nasty and limp.
We'll talk about it. But this is the question, though. The question is, are most people talking about it? That's the question. I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if people really are.
Are you at home talking about this? And if not, you need to be. Anyway, peace out.
3 for 5 at 1 Youngster is brought to you by A Full Tang Design. Also sponsored in part by Naswip and Ixrafo. Sweet